It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. Let's rank some core Mario games. Mike, give me a quick overview of what's going on here.
Yeah, so we're going to put the core Mario games. What's a core Mario game? Everybody has their own idea. Everybody just thinks it's common sense to them, and then they work backwards to justify it. So you'll see how I go about it. The big thing here is no, I don't think Yoshi's Island is a core Mario game. I don't think Mario Run is. I don't think Mario Maker is. If you're mad about that, you can yell at me. If it makes you feel better, yes, Yoshi's Island would be on the top tier if it was. Speaking
Great
of the
video
tiers,
game.
yeah, I have 5 tiers here. Let's go. Mamma Mia. Oh yeah. Okie dokie. And oh no. If that seems confusing, just think of it as S, A, B, C, and D. But
I like Mamma Mia. Okay. All right. So we didn't order these things chronologically. I don't know if you feel like if you have an urge to still do this chronologically.
we can just call it chronologically, then you can go find it and we can work it that way. They're down there. But
sounds good. Yeah, you know the chronology. Give me the first one. What should I be looking for?
Super Mario Bros. Is first, if you can believe it.
Wow. All right. I have a huge soft spot for Super Mario Brothers. It was like not really my first video game, but it was like the first game that I really got into. It's the first game I got like for a birthday. It was 5. I got it with the Super Nintendo, or with the Nintendo, and I did this whole scavenger hunt for my birthday. It was really great. It was hiding in the bathtub, and then I played it all night. And then my brothers stayed up even later and played it. My older brothers stayed up even later and played it all that night as well. I still go back to it, and I still have a really, really good time. But again, sort of treating this slightly more objectively, I don't need to put it in Let's Go. Maybe not even Mamma Mia. I would probably put it in Oh Yeah, because there are definitely going to be Mario games that do Mario better than this eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe the significance of it gets it into Mamma Mia. I wouldn't put it in Let's Go either. There are 2D Mario games I'd rather play more, but it's Super Mario Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Like that means something. And I think maybe that gets it into Mamma Mia alone. There are going to be 2D Mario games that I like better than this. Maybe we can knock it down if we think that Mamma Mia gets crowded, but I think we should at least put it in there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Super
Yeah.
Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
But like the Lost Levels, which is next, meanwhile, like it doesn't get that reverence for me. It's just I could go pretty low on Lost Levels. If I want to play that kind of Mario game, I'll just play Super Mario Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Unless I played so much of it that I'm sick of it and I just want different levels. I'm glad this isn't the way the franchise went until the new Super Mario Brothers games, right? Where it's just totally more of the same.
I like the Lost Levels, but I like it as a troll. I like it as Lost Levels, like in the Super Mario All Stars. I don't like it when it's just Super Mario Brothers 2 on the NES. But it's totally just it's not a very good game. It's not much fun to play, but it's fun because it's so mean to the player. I think probably Okie Dokie. No, let's just put it in Oh No.
Let's put it in Oh No, because there aren't going to be very many candidates for Oh No.
Yeah.
So this might have to be bottom tier. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I like it, but I would never recommend anyone play it.
No,
unless you are trying to hurt the player, unless you want to laugh at them or whatever.
I mean, no Mario games are bad. That's why I didn't name the bottom tier, like it's shit. But
the only thing that might put it over into Okie Dokie is when you're a kid and you're on the playground and the kid comes and tells you if you go fast enough, you can jump over the flagpole in Mario. And you're like, no, I've gone as fast as possible that you can't do it. And then you go play Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels and you could jump over the flagpole and it blows your mind. That was pretty cool, but that's like a really high in a game that is mostly really pretty bad.
And now we have the better Super Mario Brothers 2. Which, man, do people still have to bring up the Doki Doki Panic thing every time they talk about this game? I feel like it's become
we don't. I mean,
it's become the most obnoxious trivia piece ever. Yes, we all know.
It's bad because it's like the Mario teams. It's still the Mario team, and then they still made it into a Mario game. It's a Mario game. It's
a Mario game.
The idea of saying it's not really a Mario game is just wrong. Core. Yeah.
Well, it's core and it's better than Lost Levels. Now, I don't know if I think it's amazing. It might still be like an Oh Yeah or an Okie Dokie for me. I like the kind of weird pick up stuff and throw them mechanics. I like the 4 characters and they each play a bit differently, which is something that comes back in some future Mario games. Like the enemies here are great. Like you get Shy Guys for the first time. Like everything kind of has that Arabian Nights flavor to it that has somehow just become a core part of Mario's aesthetic.
Yeah.
which is fun. But
I,
yeah, I don't know, like nothing amazing to me about Mario 2. It's very good. It's very
I,
good,
I
but
I think that the shortcuts are like even better here than they were in Super Mario Brothers. I think like bad guys like Mouser and Wart are very cool. I think it's all a dream thing, and then calling the level subcon, like subconscious, which I just learned about the other day.
oh,
A lot of this stuff is really good. I personally want to put it in Mamma Mia. If that's a hard case to win you over with that, okay, let's put it in. Oh yeah,
I think it's got to go in. Oh yeah, because I think Mamma Mia is going to get crowded.
I think it's
I
going to
mean,
get credit too. That's the one reason why I'd be like, okay, maybe we can move it down. But I don't know. I guess if I had to do a gut check, I think I do prefer to play Super Mario Brothers than Super Mario Brothers 2. I think the idea of playing Super Mario Brothers 2 is better in my head, but I think I actually still have more fun playing Super Mario Brothers. So I'm okay with this. So then that takes us to Super Mario Brothers 3. What do you think?
man, this one's hard for some people. This is like the best one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've never quite been there. I like Super Mario Brothers 3. I think its difficulty spikes are kind of weird and uneven. And yeah, I think it's good that it's hard, but sometimes it's weird. I think the amount of auto scrollers is annoying. A few of those, like those kind of like tank levels or whatever they are, the airship levels are fun, but there get to be a lot of those, especially towards the end of the game. I don't know. I don't have like first. I guess I should say in a broader sense that I like. We haven't gone there yet, but I like the 3D Mario games more than the 2D ones in general. So maybe that's part of it here. Um,
I,
so
I think it's
if you
definitely easily Mamma Mia, if not Let's Go. But I think probably Mamma Mia for me too. I like some 2D Mario's better, and I like some 3D Mario's better. I think it's an excellent game. The excitement for it when it was coming out was massive. I couldn't like the idea of like getting to play this game, like watching the Wizard and seeing all that stuff, and it delivered on that. And I think the power ups this is like really when it got into like suit power ups and turning into the raccoon or Tanuki, and then like finding stuff like the Hammer Bro, like I think it's the one that has the Hammer Bro suit or something like that, like in one of the levels. And like eventually finding that after skipping over that level so many times and be like, oh man, there's like so many cool things hidden in here. But yeah, for me, it's a solid Mamma Mia.
it's obviously a classic, but
Yeah.
I will say, we'll get to it. I think Super Mario World kind of does everything it does a bit better and with a bit more finesse. I
Does
think
Mamma Mia, is that good for you? Is it in
that's
Mamma
good for
Mia?
me. Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want it lower than that. But
Okay.
I don't really want it. Let's it go.
Okay. So then Super Mario Land. What are your thoughts on this? Because I'm mixed on this one too.
Yeah, probably mostly negative. I mean, it's just at the time it was neat. I think the gameplay is a little wonky. Hasn't aged great. Doesn't look great. Soundtrack's amazing out of nowhere, so that's nice. It has a lot of those like shoot 'em up levels. The final
Yeah.
level and bosses in a shoot up level. That's like one of my least favorite things from games from this era. Like a lot of the 2D games, like we need to mix things up. Let's add a shoot 'em up section, and
Right.
it's always boring and dull. I don't know. Like this is either okie dokie or oh no to me.
For me, this one's like the good stuff. Is the level design. I think it looks okay, but not great. And the music is good, like you said. It's got
Music's
some of the
great.
best music. But the physics are so off that I actually really have a hard time playing this one. So, in terms of Mario games, Super Mario Brothers games, for me, it goes into oh no. I think.
I think so. I think it's an oh no.
Oh no.
Now we got Super Mario World, which this is my favorite of the 2D Mario games. I think it
Same.
looks great. I think the secrets are the best. The whole Star Road system is really fun. Uh, the power ups are good here. Yoshi is amazing. One of my favorite final boss fights with Bowser. Yeah, there's not. I think the difficulty curve is very smooth compared to 3. It never gets as hard as 3, except for like some of the special levels, which are great. Like this is the first time I think where we had that system, right? Where like you can kind of go in and discover like the super secret harder levels, and those are really
Right.
fun. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of the ideal 2D Mario game for me. Still, this is if one of the 2D Mario games is to let go and only one, it's got to be this one for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely Let's Go. It's the best of the 2D Mario's. It is. It's an all-time classic. Whenever I think of like an overworld map for a game where like you have like where you're continuing to progress through a map, this is what I imagine as like the ideal. All of the secrets, some levels have like 2 secret exits, including and then a normal exit. And completely like 100%ing this game, or like getting all like the 96 points or whatever, 96 exits.
Exits,
Yeah,
yeah.
exits. Yeah. Like figuring that out over time was really challenging and really cool. And I don't know if I ever found, like, I think Soda Lake was the one. I don't think I ever found that until I got the guide, and I was like, man, there's another thing here. And then finding stuff like Soda Lake, it was just like, this is there. It's just so full of secrets, and then it just plays so well. It looks so good. It looks timeless. It sounds timeless. So yeah, easily lets it go for me.
Cool. All right, so Super Mario Land 2, better than Mario Land 1. Soundtrack's not as good, surprisingly, but everything else is better. It looks more like a Mario game. Uh, they kind of zoom in the camera more so you can have the bigger sprite, so
Right.
it looks better. The problem there is that the level design takes a hit because you can't really do too many interesting, complicated things because you can't see very far ahead of you. Like I love the level because it just got really weird here. There's like the Mario, there's like the toy world, the turtle world, a space world.
Yep.
That stuff's great. You have Wario here for the first time, and he's a fun villain. It's neat that they were able to do something besides Bowser that was pretty memorable for a change. Like, I don't love it. It might be an oh yeah for me. I don't know. What do you think?
Uh,
I used to like it more. I will say that. I don't know why.
It's probably okie dokie. Because I mean, it still doesn't feel quite right, but it is better than Super Mario Land, but it's still not quite right. It's fun for a Game Boy game, but like when you compare it to stuff like Link's Awakening, which is like great even for a Zelda game, like it's not even capturing that same magic.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because like, yeah, we kind of, I use that qualifier for these Mario games. Like, well, for Game Boy, it's good, but yeah, Zelda just had one of its best games on Game Boy anyway.
Right.
And that didn't quite happen with Mario. Like, this is the best of them, and it's a good game. Like, yes. I like it, but yeah, it's not as, is it as good as Mario 2, I guess, which we already have in that middle tier? Probably not. So I think it's okie dokie.
Yep, let's
okie dokie. Okie dokie. All right. Next is Super Mario 64, which that's a let's go for me, man. I love Super Mario 64. This is the game I easily get the most mad about on Twitter for the people who say that it's aged badly or it's insane. This game is still so much fun. How ambitious it was for 1996. Like, they were basically inventing the 3D platformer and kind of 3D games in general, and they got so many things right, and we're still doing things better than other people today in terms of like exploration and kind of playground levels. Yeah, I don't know. Man. The only thing people are like, oh, the camera's bad. The camera's workable. You get through it. It's fine. It. It's fine. Man, this game is so good. I love Mario 64. It's super fun to 100% too. Like, one of the first games I think when I think of like 100% in a game, like, yeah, this game was super fun to 100%.
It was achievable. Like, it has the right amount of content for like that kind of game for a 3D platformer, and like even early on, like, it's like surprising how well they nailed it. Like, there's a good variety of levels, and there's a good variety of stuff to do within those levels. But yeah, like, it's not just for its time. It is still fun to go back and play. Maybe you had to like understand what the camera was trying to do back then, but for me, I could still go back, play it, and have a great time without any caveats. It's just, it controls so good. It is such a fun game to play. The coming, like, defining what analog movement should be was so fantastic. I remember just thinking, like, reading about it, be like, oh man, I'm gonna press the stick halfway and he's gonna sneak, and then actually pulling that off. And not only did it like it worked, but it like felt right and it looked right, and they like got all the animation right. There was so much stuff that they were trying to figure out, and then they got it right. That it's again another all-time classic for me. So let's go.
Mario Sunshine. This one is interesting for me because I was always a big Sunshine defender, and having played it the most recent time, I'm kind of I still like Mario Sunshine, but I'm almost kind of seeing some of the points against it a bit better, because like I played it like with Mario 64 and Mario Galaxy, which are better games, and Odyssey came out. Like, at the time, this was only the second 3D Mario game. So it's like, oh yeah, It's great. 3D, because 3D Mario games are great. It's like, oh yeah, this is very good. But now I'm like, man, this is like, as far as the 3D Mario games go, yeah, it's kind of awkward. It's you can kind of feel how it's rushed in some places. The structure's bizarre. Like, they still have the Mario 64 levels, but instead, and you still collect shines, which are basically stars. But instead of needing a set amount of shines to beat the game, it's you have to like basically do all 7 missions in all the main levels to beat the game. I'm like, well, why? The thing you did before works so well. So much of it is tied to collecting those blue coins, which can be annoying and hard to keep track of. I like Flood. I think Flood is good. I've never had an issue with that. The people who are like, oh, they turned Mario into a shooter, that's ridiculous. It's
No,
still
yeah.
a 3D platform game. And I love the theme of it. I love that it like went for more specifically for this kind of tropical like island theme. Was fun. But yeah, like I'm certainly not going to say that it's classic. You know what? Maybe it's as good as Mario 2. Maybe it's an oh yeah.
Yeah, that seems right to me. I was like even like maybe entertaining the idea of putting it way down in Okie Dokie, but it's like when I think about it in the pantheon of 3D platformers, it's still among the top tier of all 3D platformers.
Right.
It's definitely the worst of the 3D Mario games. And that just comes down to yeah I think yeah it feels rushed. I think was the big thing, and it just doesn't feel like they got it quite as polished as they needed to. The controls are still very good, but like the things you're doing in the game are. For me, my favorite parts were like when you actually lost Flood and the like really challenging stuff. But then there's like bugs in those levels, cool. So it's still kind of a bummer sometimes.
Yeah, there's a lot of repeated boss fights. They experimented with doing voiced cutscenes in a Mario game, which I guess we had to try that at some point. But yeah, let's not do that again.
The start is really slow, so if you ever try to go back and replay it, it's
annoying.
Like, oh, you got to get over all this stuff first, and it actually. It kind of looks bad because they're doing that whole dim lighting thing where like, oh, the sunshine's been taken away from the world. So the world's kind of like, foggy and dim.
Yeah, I don't know if I say it looks bad. I know what you mean. The water effects, it looks a little dingy. It looks a little flat. The water effects are still really, really cool. And that's obviously a big part of it. So
yes, I agree. The water effects are still really, really good. I think, oh yeah, it's perfect for this.
Yeah, I think, oh yeah, we'll do it. All right. I believe New Super Mario Brothers is actually next. Yeah, top left one. There's a lot of them, and they all look the same. They're all going to play the same. This game gets worse over time because they make so many of them. But even at the time, I remember it was a novelty at the time. It was like, oh, cool, a new Mario Brothers game. It was no Mario World. It was no Mario 3. It was very. I remember even then it seemed kind of simple. Like the big innovation was that giant mushroom, which just made you really big and vulnerable. So it's just a new take on the star, basically. I have no great love for it. Is it okie dokie or is it just oh no? Like this, I don't know. This one might be at best.
It's no better than Okie Dokie. The big problem is they don't understand like what makes Mario games good. Like Super Mario World, what made it so good is like you go into a level and like it might be like that first level of not Donut Plains, but like the next area, and there's 3 exits in there, and if you could figure out how to play the stage or get all the power-ups within the stage, you can access all that stuff. And then New Super Mario Brothers is like, well, if you collected a tiny mushroom for like several levels ago and then kept it and then used it on this stage, you could find like really easily get to this secret exit, and it's like. That's worse. That's significantly worse. Instead of having it all contained in one level to figure it out, it's more about like just holding on to stuff and hoarding stuff. It didn't feel good, and it's like it also is kind of sluggish playing game. For me at the time, it was like a B at best. And I think
it's aged since then worse.
And
right?
aged,
it's forgettable. Aged. Maybe it is oh no. Maybe it's
let's pop it down in oh no because it's I was gonna say it's the worst of the New Super Mario Brothers games. I think that's probably true.
It might be. Well, we'll get to one that but I might find even more. I don't know. Maybe actually be better, but I'd rather play less, or at least liked less at the time. Anyways, next up is Super Mario Galaxy. Man, when this was out, I absolutely loved this. And I'll be honest, the thing here that's hard is we have 2 of these. Can we put both of them in Let's Go, or do we have to be like we have to find the one that's actually better? Which might be 2.
I think
because I played one more recently because it came out on Switch. I love both these games so much though. I love that space theme. I love how they kind of like instill this grandeur to it, right? With the kind of the symphonic music and the scope. The little planetoid gravity physics is amazing. Even the use of the Wii motion stuff was kind of fun and it worked well. I like Mario Galaxy a lot. I really have no reason to keep it off of Let's Go, aside from the fact that maybe Galaxy 2 is better.
Let's put it in Let's Go, but I do think maybe it makes sense in Mamma Mia, because to me it feels like the Super Mario Brothers 3 to Galaxy 2's Super Mario World, but maybe that's not quite it's a fantastic game, and maybe they're like, we could just consider them as a package, but I feel like there's gonna be a couple more going into Let's Go.
Yeah, I mean, it's Mario, there's a lot of good games, so yeah, it might have to be harder on some of these. Well, here's New Super Mario Brothers Wii, which is like it's one of the better of the New Super Mario Brothers games. You know, it's the first one to have it's the first one to have the 4-player thing. At some people's the level design is good. My biggest thing against it right now is that it's a Wii game, and the 2D, 3D on Wii never looked very good because it wasn't in HD, so it's kind of not a great looking game. And again, it still has a bit of that New Super Mario Brothers like forgettableness. Like if you ask me how the final Bowser fight worked in this game that I probably beat twice, I don't remember. But it was
I
there.
think that this is a game where you really have to buy into their collect all the gold coins, all the like the 3 dragon coins or whatever they're called in this one. And that's the real challenge. That's the real way to play this game. And if you do that, it's like a really good challenging platformer. I thought it was a lot of fun to play. But for me, nothing in this series rises above Oh Yeah. I would put this one in Oh Yeah.
You can put it in Oh Yeah.
But yeah, that's about as best that this series can hope to do.
Yeah. Here, lower our tier list. You've cut off the top.
Oh yes, lower the tier list. Hang on. Yeah, you start talking about the next one. I'm fixing it.
You got it. That's good right there. The next one would be Mario Galaxy 2, which I guess let's put that in Let's Go also, because yeah, also just very good. Maybe even better level design.
Yeah.
The Yoshi stuff's great. I don't like the kind of like spaceship Mario overworld structure as much as Mario Galaxy's Observatory. I find it a little weird how these games like have no storyline connections. They're almost like a retelling, especially because, you know, behind the scenes, that was like Miyamoto pushing back against the idea that Mario games will have stories at all.
Right.
So that's weird. Doesn't really matter that much. This game is super, super fun, man.
If to me, it is Mario Galaxy, but better, with more variety. It is so creative. There are so many good ideas in this game, and it's got like really good pacing with those ideas. You're doing something for 10 minutes, and then you are doing something different for the next 10 minutes. And then later in the game, you might revisit one of those things, but it'll be more complicated, and it'll challenge you to use it in even more creative ways. It is such a good game.
Super Mario 3D Land is another one that kind of suffers a bit from the whole just age thing. Not because, you know, the game's good, but the novelty was, oh, we have a 3D Mario game on a portable now, and now we just have like pretty much all the 3D Mario games on the Switch. So, you know, and they made some caveats. They made it a little simpler, and then they made a sequel to it that's just way better in every way with 3D World. So, yeah, 3D Land's kind of just like in this weird position where it feels it's not unnecessary, but it feels like the least essential one to go back and play anymore.
Yeah, I think it's an Oh Yeah, because it's a fun game to play, like all of the other games in Oh Yeah, but it's really barren looking. If you like, you can like emulate 3DS on a computer now, and you play this game in HD. And when you do that, you see how kind of bad it looks. Like they really held back on the complexity of this world, probably to make it simple visually so that it was easy to parse, because it was such a low resolution, so things needed to be very clear, but also just because the 3DS wasn't very powerful, but it hurts the overall like design of the game. And so that's to me, it's a bummer to look at now.
Yeah, and it's like the new Super Mario Bros. Game in that the aesthetic is just Mario, right? And it doesn't do anything more interesting than that, and that's kind of a bummer. And at this point, we're about to get like, we have 2 new Super Mario Bros. Games in a row after this, and like we all got very tired of that.
Yes, agreed.
So yeah, it's annoying. And then we have New Super Mario Brothers 2, which is maybe the one that's worse than New Super Mario Brothers, because we're all getting tired of it. It was not as good as the one that came out for Wii not that long before this. It wasn't as good as 3D Land. The whole gimmick was just, there's a lot of coins. But which doesn't really translate to meaning anything.
Right. It was like, it was definitely overcompensating for boring levels. It's like we're just gonna like get as many coins as possible, and that's the thing you do in this game, because playing the levels isn't very fun. And it's like, oh, okay. And then you're right. This is the height of just hating to look at this style. They redeemed it a little bit with the next game, but even then I was still over it. So yeah, this one's oh no, it's probably my least favorite Mario game.
I agree.
Of the core games,
It's like the one I would want to play again the least.
Same.
It's just it's very uninteresting. At least like the new Super Mario Brothers, the first one was the first one. There's like something interesting here. This one was just so unambitious. And like not too long after that, we had Super Mario Brothers U, which again suffered because they were just churning these things out. This one is more visually interesting than a lot of the other ones. They do some interesting levels. There's like that one Picasso level or whatever, which maybe the whole game should have just looked like that. The flying squirrel power-ups, neat. The HD-ness. This was the first Mario game in HD, if you could believe it. So at the time, that was neat. And I'll tell you, it's weird because this just came out again not too long ago, and I played through it again. And as I was playing through it, I was like, man, I remember almost none of this. And even already, I'm back to where I am, where the only thing I remember really is that Picasso level. So to me, this is about as good as Mario Brothers Wii, but I probably would have put Wii in Okie Dokie anyway. So how do you feel about this one?
I think it's okie dokie just because I was so burnt out by this point. I think it loses points for coming after the other two games and kind of still being the same thing, even though it is HD and it looks really crisp. I think the flying squirrel suit power up looks kind of cheesy in a bad way. I think that, and like the spinning hat one, I think this is the one that really had a lot of the spinning hat, and that was
a lot of spinning hat,
and that wasn't great either. That was just kind of okay.
Well, it was a very easy and cheap way to kind of fly over levels. At least in Mario World, using the cape took some skill. Using the Tanuki and 3 took some skill. Here's just hold down the jump button.
Yeah, and then if you wanted to fly over the whole level, like there was like the P-Wing you could get as a power-up, and that was, so it's like another level instead of just combining it into this one thing where you could just sort of jump, fly, jump, fly, jump, fly. Let's put it in Okie Dokie. I if that's okay with you.
Yeah, okay, Super Mario 3D World. So let's say there's a weird world where I'm playing through this game again for some reason.
Okay, weird.
And when this came out, I wasn't that into it. I think part of it is because we had I think we had like almost 4 games in a row where the theme was just it's Mario, and to me this felt like that, but in the 3D Mario games that I like way more. Even though it actually did do some really fun level stuff, like there's kind of this carnival, fantasy, fairy tale theme to everything that you kind of pick up on. But man, this game plays so well. The level design is so much fun. The cat power up is great. You get to play as Rosalina later, which is super fun. I like this one a lot. Now, actually, the soundtrack might be the best. My least favorite thing about this one now is the name, which I just think is bizarre and stupid and did it no favors. And that's a topic for another time. But I like this one a lot. My only thing right now is Let's It Go's getting crowded. But man, this game's very good. What do you think about 3D World?
I still think it's fantastic, and it's all those things you said, and then also it's one of the few 3D platformer games that nails cooperative multiplayer.
And see, I'm not with you there. I still don't think any of these are fun to play with the co-op multiplayer, and I don't know.
I played with my wife, and this was a long time ago, but
you both have bad taste.
We had a great time. It was like a really good time. We played. We I don't think we beat it, but we got pretty close to the end. But all the time, that entire time we were playing, it worked. It wasn't very frustrating. It was actually like I don't think it was ever frustrating. It was just a good time.
I probably need to try that again. Yeah. But like to me, it almost doesn't matter because I'm fine just playing it. It doesn't require that at all. Like it's not trying to be Ratchet and Clank free for all or whatever that was. So that's fine. Yeah, I see you squeezing room so you can get ready because you know it's coming.
I know it's coming. Yep.
Yeah,
I gotta make more room.
3D Mario might have to be Let's Go, and it's a super fun game to 100% because there's so many extra levels.
You're like, maybe it's too easy, and then you get to the extra levels, and it's like, oh no, this is the real challenge. And there's more game here. It's more challenging by just giving you more stuff than ever before. It's a huge game. It is a fun game. It's got great music, and I think it looks incredible. That HD with that 3D Mario art style at that point, even
it looks very good.
It just looks so good.
In terms of the games that just look like Mario, this is definitely the one that nails that.
Yes,
makes it very attractive.
Yeah, and and they, you know, the art style of Mario, like, yeah, it can wear on you through like the new games, but still the reason it works overall is because there's some really attractive design in the, like, the enemies, the characters, and when you know that, it could be really great, and this is the best example of that.
All right, Super Mario Odyssey is one of my favorite games.
Yep.
This game is just so ridiculously fun and well designed. It has it's maybe the best implementation of the whole like worlds that you just kind of run around and explore. I love how many moons there are, and some of them it's just like you found this little nook, here's a moon, or you sat on a bench with a lonely person, here's a moon. And some of them are a lot hard to get. Really fun game to 100% because it's like there's all these different milestones of rewards, and you keep thinking like, oh, are there more moons? Oh, there's more moons. Uh, I don't know if I have anything bad. The only bad thing I guess I can say about it is the kind of this was early in the Switch, and they're like, no, people are going to use the Joy-Cons like Wiimote still. We got to have a waggle thing for some reason, and like I still wish they would just map that stuff to a button. But whatever. This game is the capping mechanics are so much fun. That both the copying stuff and the actual just like using Cappy as a platform that you can kind of throw out in front of you. It makes the kind of vertical platforming in terms of one of the best things about the 3D Mario games is the way that it kind of encourages you to make your own path. Like, don't go down the intended ways.
Right.
You kind of get up to places in these interesting ways. And it's almost not unintended. Like, you'll get up there and you find out that they put some coins there because they know you can.
Yep.
Yeah, I love this game. I love it.
I love it too. It's one of those ones where I do hear some backlash toward, and they're wrong. I've replayed it. I've played it all the way through twice now. And on that second playthrough, I was trying to see what people were talking about, the haters out there, and they're just wrong. It is
what do the haters say?
I don't even know. It's like always, like some people just, I think, had something in their head about what this game was going to be. I think they just wanted another Galaxy, and I guarantee when they go to replay this in 5 years, they'll be like, "Oh, I was wrong." That's what's going to happen because they are. It is so good. I think the moon design of just putting them everywhere, and sometimes getting a moon is really difficult, and sometimes it's really easy. But it doesn't matter. It's not like they're all easy. It's just like if you want to go find the easy ones, they're there. But if you keep going, if you try to like 100% a stage, you're going to find some really tough stuff.
That's right. One of the stupid things I've heard is people say there's too many moons. Yeah. I'm like, well, what does that mean?
And it's like too many moons, and they mean it. It's like, oh, it's too easy to get the moons to continue to the next level, and it's like, then just don't go to the next level. Like, you don't need to critical path a Mario game. Like with Super Mario Brothers, like you could just go right to the end in 5 minutes. With all of those, the 2D Mario games, like Super Mario World, you could go Star Road and get there pretty quickly to the very end of the game. Just don't do that. Just stay in a level and enjoy it and see what's there.
Keep playing it because it's fun, right?
Yeah, keep playing, and it is super fun. You're right. Oh, the capping mechanics, using it as platforming, jumping off that hat. They really nailed what you want to do with Mario. Like, they push him right up to the limits of, you jump, you throw the hat, you jump on the hat, you do a butt stomp, you interrupt the butt stomp by diving forward, and then you do one more butt stomp to like actually like land where you want to go.
Figure that out. It feels so good.
And it's like riding a bicycle. I go back to it now after not playing it for a long time, and I immediately pick it up again. It's in my brain, like it just flows with the way you want to play a Mario game so well. It's just
all the little like all the costumes you can get, and like those 2D sections where you become 8-bit suddenly, and how that's like painted onto the world, and
you could play as a skeleton Mario, which my kids love. Yeah,
that's it. Top tier. Yeah, one of my favorite games. So that's a lot on top tier. Does that bother you? Because I don't really want to take any of them off.
Me neither. No, this is
the
fine.
only one.
This is right.
This is right. And I mean, it's Mario. So look, there's a lot of games in the tippity top. It's not Sonic's Friends, right?
No, it's not. No, it's not Sonic's Friends. I could say that definitively. All right, Mike. I think we should probably wrap this up, though. Any final thoughts on Mario before we get out of here?
Yeah, and look, I'll share links so you guys can make your own list. Because, like I said, I know for me that, and I admit it, I generally like the 3D Mario games more. I mean, look, I put 5 of them in the top. I think 3D Mario games are so good. I just the basic concept of it and the basic mechanics of it are so much fun. And then when you design a really good game around that, like most of them do, except for maybe Sunshine and 3D Land, you always get something special there. But yeah, there's a lot of good Mario games, man.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. It's one of my favorite series, one of my favorite franchises. I want to go back and play almost all of these games. Even like New Super Mario Brothers 2, I want to go back and just see like what they did wrong there. It's like still interesting in some ways. But the reason there's lots of games in Let's Go is they just know how to do this series, and when Mario's done right, it is better than almost anything else.
What last question? What do you want next? Do you want like a Mario Odyssey 2? Or you want something that's more like 3D World again?
Okay, for 3D Mario games, I want a Mario Odyssey 2. I bet they could really take that to the next level and like do some really.
Are you gonna say you want a new 2D game that's not just a new Super Mario Bros? Because that would be nice, right?
That's what I want. Yeah, I mean, I want to see them like go wild with the art design, make it look like an instruction manual.
Yeah,
exactly.
Do something with the 2D Mario games that has the ambition and creativity of a Mario Odyssey would be super fun to see, right?
Yeah, and it's overdue, and we deserve it because this franchise like always sells really well, and they know 2D Mario games could sell. But like I think Super Mario Brothers or New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe on the Switch didn't do as well, and I don't know if they're gonna take that as like, oh, 2D games aren't selling anymore, or this old busted ass art design that we keep using over and over.
I hope that's the lesson.
I hope that's the lesson too. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll do another tier list here pretty soon. Until then, have a good one. Take care of yourself, and goodbye.
Bye.